In this TV series, we will follow 4 of our colleagues who are on a mission to discover the new Volvo cars. What will they find? This is Volvo Cars Explorers.
Go out and see is really understanding the reality from seeing it instead of trying to read some kind of descriptions.
It's a good-looking car. It's safe, and I guess the fact that it's made in Sweden, obviously.
Safe, Sweden, Zlatan.
When I think about Volvo, I think childhood, I think home, and I think it looks good.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, see you, bye.
Most people we ask mention safety and design as 2 key features of Volvo Cars' identity and brand values. Today, Nana and Anton will learn more about the safety mission. They leave Gothenburg and head north.
Today we are going to meet a woman who survived a very severe crash in a Volvo. So we are going to talk to her and she will tell her about her story.
It's also going to be interesting to hear her reaction when she stepped out of the car and saw like the car is a wreck and I'm standing here, like if she were in a big shock a long time or if she could really think and what her emotions were.
Sheri and Mark are heading for the Swedish forest to meet survival expert Torbjörn Selin and experience the very nature that inspires our design.
Today you're going to learn a little bit more about the beautiful Swedish nature.
Okay.
I'm trying to teach you how to find dry firewood and how you are going to make your own fire. Okay, follow me.
Yeah, I rarely be in nature because I live in Shanghai. Then there are not so many opportunities for me to go outside and see the real nature with a lot of forest, trees, and so clean air.
It's time for your first task. It's to go down and find some dry branches.
Okay.
And come back.
Have you been in the forest before, Mark?
Yeah, I do a little bit of camping back home with friends and do a lot of desert camping. But I've made fires before.
Yeah, I live in Shanghai and never done it before.
Do something. There.
Oh, cool.
Okay, hurry. Now we can make our food.
Ines Svanström lives just outside Gothenburg. She was on her way home with her 1-year-old daughter in the back seat when she lost control of her car in the snowy weather conditions.
So I will show you the place where my accident happened.
Yeah?
It was about 6 years ago in March. I was on my way home to get my kids at school. It was kind of snowy and bad weather. So it was snow on the ground and I lost control of the car and all of a sudden I just could hear the glasses broke and the tires exploded and everything, and then it stopped to a tree. So, and then I sat there and then I was kind of shocked because I had a baby in the car.
When she was telling the story, I was thinking, oh my God, I hope the kid was safe.
I got out of the car and looked at her and she sat safely in her baby seat with lots of glass over her, but perfectly fine. But nothing had happened and neither with me. I was fine, but the car was really, really damaged.
Neither Ines or her daughter had to go to the hospital after the accident. The car, however, couldn't be repaired, so the family had to buy a new car. And again, they chose a Volvo XC90.
How do you feel when you think back at the crash moment?
I feel pretty happy that we had that kind of great car and that nothing happened with me and the baby, because I think it could have been worse.
With my hand.
And I have made the tea here. Do you want to have a taste? Cheers.
It's good.
Like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Tastes very natural.
And it was really nice to actually relax and sit out in the environment and see how different that was from Southern California especially. A lot more open, a lot more calm.
How do you transform nature experiences to global design? Mark and Sheri go back to Gothenburg to meet T. John Mayer, a designer at Volvo Cars, whose work with both concept and production cars addresses that very question.
So now that you guys have been out exploring the Scandinavian nature scene today and doing different stuff, I can talk to you about how that inspires me as a designer when designing the cars. I've been at Volvo about 6 years. I'm an American, so I'm not a Swedish native. So very much coming to Sweden and experiencing the same feelings and emotions and experiences that you're having coming for the first time. It affects you as a designer being here in that situation.
What ways have you influenced the design process by using the Scandinavian environment kind of influences?
The way the environment influences the design of the vehicles isn't literal in a sense where we walk by a rock and say, ooh, that rock is shaped like this, let's make a rock-inspired car. It doesn't really work like that. It's more of designing around the elements and the essence of nature. And usually when you go to the woods, you are actually quite alone. And it's the serenity and that peacefulness and that calmness that you try to translate into your designs.
So when TJ was talking about the designed around you experience and the design process and getting the influences from the Scandinavian environment, that really connected with me after what we experienced with Tovan. There was a calmness about sitting next to the lake and prepping our own fire and cooking our own food that was caught in the lake. And that calmness is really evident in the new cars that are coming out with Volvo.
Now we are going to the Volvo Safety Center to see a real crash and how accidents and injuries are prevented by Volvo engineers.
Welcome.
Thank you.
To the Volvo Cars Crash Lab. What will happen now is that the lights will be dimmed. They will actually be turned off completely. And then you have these very, very strong lights that will be turned on.
Yeah, they told us not to look directly into them.
No, don't, because it's quite blinding.
Yeah.
And you need to focus on the impact because it's over in a split second. Oh. So don't blink. Yeah.
10.
I'm getting so excited.
Yeah.
Test completed.
It was over so quickly, much faster than I thought it was gonna be.
Okay, so the test is completed and we can go down and have a look.
We have a good result. The car has behaved like it's supposed to do. So now I'm checking the structural parts of the car, or some of them, and check if they have worked like they should do. And yeah, we have a good result.
The methodology that we use for this is something we call the circle of life. It's not based on what technology do we want, it's based on what scenarios do we need to address. And then we need to understand, do we have the technology already now that we need, or do we need to define something new? And then address it in the programs, get the cars in the field, and then back to the field data. So it really is a circle.
So I'm guessing that wouldn't be possible, the Vision 2020. It wouldn't be possible if there was no research since 1971.
Vision 2020 is very much based on us knowing and understanding and addressing what's out there.
I think it's a very good goal, and something that motivates new workers like myself to, you know, actually concentrate and feel like, you know, I'm doing something for a greater goal.
Before I joined, the thing I related Volvo to was safety. It's really strong in the brand for me. When someone says, I'm gonna get a safe car, it's a Volvo. And now you see how they have built this by taking it really serious. So it was very strong before, and this like validated that it's not just a word they say, it's something they really work on. Or maybe I shouldn't say they really work on, we really work on.
After a full day of learning on our identity and brand promise, our explorers meet up and exchange experiences. It's been insightful, and now they're eager for the next stop of the journey.
Yeah, so far we've been having really good time, and I can't wait to show my friends Belgium. I think it's going to be very fun.